Hey guys, welcome back to another 5-minute GLP-1 update. My name is Shayna if you're new here, and I'm on a journey to lose 70 pounds using a GLP-1 medication. So if you'd like to hear how I did during my week 8 of Mounjaro, stick around guys because we'll be done in 5 minutes, hopefully. All right, guys, welcome back. So like I said, this is week 8 and I'm still on the 2.5 milligram of Mounjaro. And we're gonna start off with my symptoms this week. Did I have any symptoms this week? I only had one, and it was a positive one, at least in my mind, because I wasn't hungry until lunch. So I was almost able to add in some like intermittent fasting into my day unintentionally because I didn't really start getting hungry until like 11 or 12 o'clock, which at that point it was time for lunch. So there was no diarrhea, there was no constipation, no nausea, no headaches. And I feel very blessed that I did not have to experience that this week because I've experienced that in the past. But this week, the only symptom that I had was not being hungry until lunchtime, which is a bonus, right? So I skipped all those morning calories, I had a coffee, and then I had lunch. That was my symptom. So I call that a win for me for this week in regards to symptoms. So the challenges that I had this week, especially with those symptoms of not being hungry, is I was out a lot this week. I didn't have to work. Kids went back to school. I had a lot going on. So I was out a lot during the lunchtime hour. So the challenge that I had was eating outside. What am I supposed to eat? How am I supposed to make sure this is healthy for me? What are the best options and choices for me? So I didn't ever really think about that before. I just kind of went and got something to eat that I wanted and was full and hungry. I was fine and it just kind of went on. But now I'm really starting to think about like, well, what can I eat? Where can I stop? What's going to be healthy for me? And I've actually found myself going to supermarkets more than I did sub shops. Going to places like Whole Foods, going to a local supermarket, I would grab like an adult Lunchable that has like the meat, the cheese, and like the crackers, or I would grab like my pretzels, or I'd pick up a salad. And one, I was able to monitor my calories that way, but two, it also saved me money because going to the grocery store is a lot cheaper than stopping at the sub shop or a restaurant. So that was my challenge, but I feel like I came up with a solution for it and it was a win-win. I can monitor my calories and I can save some money, which is a double win for me in my book. Next week's goals. So next week, I'm actually going to be starting on the 5 milligram of Mounjaro. We're moving up a dose. Very excited with that. So that is one of my goals for next week is to take the 5 milligram, which is going to happen tomorrow evening. And you guys will definitely be around to see that. Another goal that I have for this week is to continue on with my walking. And with my walking, I want to try to start adding some running into it. I don't want to run the whole 3 miles that I'm walking, but I want to try to add like a half a mile, maybe at one time, maybe intermittently throughout my run. But eventually I want to be able to run that 3 miles and not walk it. So I feel like I'm starting to do that and I want to continue doing that. Another goal that I have for myself this week is to continue on with my calisthenics, but to add my 10-pound kettlebell to the calisthenic workout. So if I'm doing lunges, I want to add the kettlebell. If I'm doing sit-ups, I want to add the kettlebell. I want to add a little bit more resistance training to my workout using that 10-pound kettlebell that I already have in my house that I've had for years in my house. All right, so what you guys have actually been waiting for, right? My weigh-in. So we all know that I started this journey off at 205.8, guys. And last week I gained a little bit of weight, right? So I went up to 193.6 last week. This week, I weighed in at 193.2. I'm excited. So I weighed in at 193.2 this week, guys, which brings me back to the weight that I was, I think it was week 6, which brings my total weight loss for month 2 on Mounjaro, 2.5, to 2 pounds. So no, that's not where I want it to be. That's not the goal that I set for myself of 6 to 8 pounds. But what I've learned from this is 2.5 may actually be a great maintenance dose once I get down to the weight, my goal weight. So once I get down to my goal weight, as I'm trying to wean myself off the medication, going to a 2.5 might be a good idea for me just because I didn't really gain any weight. I kind of maintained my weight with that 2 pounds. It worked. So that might be something for me to consider down the line when my journey is starting to come to an end if I'm thinking about a maintenance dose. So in total, since I've been on this medication for the last 8 weeks, I have lost 12.5 pounds. 12.5 pounds in 8 weeks. For me, that is amazing. That's great. That's more than I did in June and May when I was not on this medication, right? So these last 2 months for me have been a win, and I am very excited about it. So that's it for me today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed this 5-minute GLP-1 update about me and my week 8. So if you like what you see, if you like what you hear here, please hit that subscribe button. Please give me a like, and I will see you guys next Sunday for week 9, the first week on 5 milligrams of Mounjaro. All right, guys, have a great week. Make good choices. I'll see you soon.